The greatest financial mysteries in history don't always come from official records. Sometimes they emerge from the inside of a vault, sometimes from a sealed tunnel, and sometimes from stories whispered for years. Yamashita's gold is exactly that kind of story. Toward the end of World War II, the Japanese Empire had begun to feel defeat approaching. But until that point, it had taken control of large parts of Asia, Manchuria, Korea, much of China, Southeast Asia, the Philippines. And this expansion was not only military. It was also a massive transfer of wealth. Banks were emptied. Gold and sacred relics from temples were collected. Diamonds, artworks, bullion. This was never small-scale looting. According to claims, a secret operation called Golden Lily was carried out, an organized, systematic operation allegedly conducted with the knowledge of the imperial family itself. Post-war estimates suggest that the collected wealth may have been equivalent to thousands of tons of gold. There is no exact figure. That is the darkest part of the story. There is no certainty, but there are very strong signs. What's interesting is that not all of this treasure was transported to Japan. Especially in the final stages of the war, a large portion was hidden in the Philippines. Buried in tunnels, caves, and underground bunkers. The plan was simple: if Japan lost the war, this hidden reserve could one day be used for a return. At the very least, the wealth of the imperial elite would be preserved. This is where General Tomoyuki Yamashita enters the story. Known as the Tiger of Malaya, he was a harsh and intelligent commander. In 1944, he was assigned to defend the Philippines. According to legend, he was also the guardian of this hidden treasure. Stories claim that there were dozens of secret depots across the Philippines. Gold bars stacked like bricks. Chests of jewels, religious icons, works of art. It is even alleged that some of the workers involved in burying the treasure were sealed inside the tunnels to keep the secret from being exposed. In 1945, Yamashita surrendered to American forces. He was tried and executed. But no clear explanation about the treasure was ever given. This is exactly where the story turns into a mystery. According to some claims, American intelligence found part of the hidden caches and secretly seized the gold. It is said that this wealth was transferred into covert funds used during the Cold War. There is talk of a fund called the Black Eagle Trust, an entity that does not appear in official records, but is alleged to have financed coups, election interference, and covert operations. If this is true, Yamashita's gold may not just be war loot, but a behind-the-scenes financial source of the post-war world order. In the 1970s, a Filipino treasure hunter, Rogelio Roxas, claimed that he actually found a tunnel. He said it contained gold bars and a golden Buddha statue filled with diamonds. Shortly afterward, he was arrested and tortured. At the time, the country's leader was Ferdinand Marcos. It later emerged that Marcos amassed billions of dollars during his rule, a fortune that could not be explained by his official salary. Many Filipinos believe that this money came from Yamashita's treasure. So what is the truth? Maybe we will never fully know. Skeptics say the story is exaggerated. Documents are missing, testimonies are contradictory. But one thing must be acknowledged: a story that involves this many governments, intelligence agencies, and powerful figures cannot be completely empty, and here is the most important point. Where the gold actually is may be secondary. The real issue is how wealth disappears, changes hands, and becomes unreachable to ordinary people during times of war and crisis. This story is not just about the past. Today, states also have secret funds. Central banks conduct reserve operations that are not fully transparent. During crises, massive bailout packages worth hundreds of billions suddenly appear. We saw this in the 2008 financial crisis. We saw it again in 2020. Money moved from one place to another, but not everyone was affected in the same way. Whether Yamashita's gold is real or a legend, symbolically it tells something very powerful. Wealth is often invisible. Power usually moves behind the scenes. And the system is never as transparent as it is presented to be. In 1917, Russia's gold disappeared. Rome debased its currency. Modern central banks create trillions. The methods change, but the core dynamic remains the same. Money and power are redistributed in moments of crisis. And ordinary people are usually left out of that redistribution. Yamashita's gold is not just a treasure tale. It is a powerful metaphor for the relationship between money, war, and power. The biggest question is always the same. Who controls the treasure? And when the system shakes, who pays the price? History does not repeat itself exactly. But its rhythm is familiar. And if you don't understand that rhythm, you remain just a spectator.